I just woke up from a nap. This is gonna be crazy because my voice is all over the place, but we'll have fun anyway. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the tavern. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the tavern. As many of you may or may not have known at this point, but I am a huge Final Fantasy, well, JRPG in general fan. Actually, maybe many of you did not know that, but one of the things that I have been very obsessed with for many years is the Final Fantasy franchise, and especially 14. You know, the big successful MMO that has the free trial up to level 70 that includes both Heavensward and Stormblood within that free trial. Sorry, that was terrible. I know that was the meme that was going around for God knows how long, but I have been playing this game for years, and the early access starts in just a few short days away from me recording this. So I figured that typically there's a couple artists who end up kind of doing renditions of whatever the current expansion's music was to just kind of commemorate everything. And in particular, there is a YouTube channel called Husky by the Geek who 10 months ago ended up doing the 10-year celebration with 200 musicians. This time they're doing an Endwalker medley with 300 musicians. And if there's one thing that I absolutely kind of geek over, it is, as you all know, especially all the epic stuff, it's music. Especially like OSTs, especially like the craziness of the Final Fantasy franchise. So I figured because Dawn Trail is literally right around the corner. I mean, in fact, I might be streaming it here on this platform on Friday, 11 p.m. 11 p.m. Wow, I'm tired. I'm sorry. 11 a.m. Eastern, just to kind of, experience it. Because the first thing I like doing when I get into a new expansion is going there, listening to the music, and geeking over everything. So, you can get Suno's live reactions right over there by just joining me. And every time I log on, I'll make sure that I go live onto here. So, kind of first official strem. Well, I've had other strems, but first stream in a while on this platform, so 11 a.m. Eastern, right here. Anyway, so big thing I wanted to do, just as kind of like, a celebration of it, is just to react to the Endwalker medley. This video was, as at the time of the recording, was just released yesterday. If you want to end up watching this video yourself as well, the link is in the description. Just like everyone else, make sure that you give just as much support to these artists, because like they work their butt off to make these videos and stuff like this, and I just want to geek out over Final Fantasy music, especially 14, because Endwalker had some bangers on it, and I'm excited to kind of just hear through things. I might start and stop a little bit as I talk about my own Endwalker experiences, or just as I go with musical analysis, because there's so many good tracks that happen at Endwalker. And especially with the amount of vocal tracks that they've started to do for this particular one, for this particular expansion, especially like on the last zones and stuff, I'll be excited to see what they do with that. I'm going to assume that some of these musicians here might be using the actual like official 14. I think it was a Stratocaster. You guys know I'm terrible with names, but they like made an official like 14 guitar, so I'm sure we'll see some of that going around here. But I don't know, I'm excited to listen to some music like always. So we might start and stop. I'll probably end up starting and stopping a lot like I typically do, but let's just have some fun and listen to some music. So again, this is the Endwalker medley with 300 musicians, Husky by the Geek. Descriptions are the actual video is in the description. So let's go ahead and listen to some music today, shall we? Of course, to start right with Vandrian. We have to. It's so heavily orchestrated to begin with. Like, in hearing this as, like, most of the major boss themes for this expansion has been fun. It's been so intense to hear this music. So much guitar riffs. This stuff always gives me like a huge smile just running through some of the dungeons. This is like their first major dungeon theme. Most people do not realize like how many instruments are used within most orchestration for OSTs. Like when we think about chiptune music and things like that, we always just or you know like rock style music. It's like, oh, this is just, you know, guitar, bass, drums, maybe piano involved in there. But if you look through just this first part of it, besides the 30,000 guitars and drum sets you see, you have trumpets, you have flutes, you have like violins, stuff like that. Like even the things that you typically, I mean, look, you got a flute right over there, you got a trumpet right down there. All of those help to add to the atmosphere of just the intensity of, well, really beginning of the expansion. If you think about it from here, since a lot of this was the world is to shit. You need to help it. Zodiac is coming. Like the places are just being overrun. Things are bad, and just the intensity that music kind of gives that lovely vibe to it. I love it. It's so perfect. And all it is just a simple, intense melody with a driving bass line like everything else. And that guitar riff solo in the middle, just, it's beautiful music. I love watching, like, musicians recreate this stuff. There was so many more vocals in a lot of these, like, tracks here. It's beautiful. I can't help but headbang every time I hear these tracks. Plus, these cosplays are really freaking good. My God. Oh. There is like just hearing the vocals with this many musicians like going through the melody line is so phenomenal. Like hearing all of that music going on while you're going through these dungeons and stuff like that, and the amount of vocals do such a good thing to OSTs. Like you normally, more recently, you've started to hear a lot of like vocal tracks go into there, but they're kind of rare when it comes to background music because that's not what most people like focus on. You want always a heavy, you know, emphasis on the hard rock as it goes through, but having these vocals be a kind of the driving force of how intense and bad the situations are kind of gives this like chill down your spine, and I already got that chill just kind of listening. Like Endwalker made me tear up a lot with its storyline over there and its themes and everything of just, you know, like ending. I mean, Endwalker, the whole freaking star was going to end at that point, but in having the vocals just emphasize that, just sorry, just having everybody come in after the solos line and boom, it's phenomenal. I love collabs like this. I actually remember doing one like this. It wasn't for Final Fantasy. I think it was when Wellman was big, like when I first started VTubing, and I ended up doing a collab recording with a bunch of other people from there, and it was fun doing that. And I don't know, these projects like this just show how amazing the musicians of the fandom are and how talented they are. Geeking, I can't help it, I love it. Oh, even the piano is doing the Final Fantasy theme, and I never noticed that before. So I say Final Fantasy theme, like the piano line over here that this lovely cosplayer of oh my God, the villain that everybody simps for all the time. It became your ally in a place this time. But you have this like just sped up, and that's just Final Fantasy 1 main theme, and like every Final Fantasy's main theme, like just situated and so well there. And so when they use that as part of the tracks, and I don't know if this was just added to go along with it or it's actually part of like the original orchestration, but you have those arpeggios that the harp does, and replicating that on piano kind of shows, this is fantasy no matter what. See if I can hear that again. Yeah, no, it's pretty much it just sped up like crazy. That's so cool though. God, it's beautiful. I've heard these tracks so many times, but it's so powerful. No, kudos to the Primals for making such phenomenal music, too. Oh, ha 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 ha. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum. I'm just going back through all of my memories with this expansion. It's so good. And you can kind of see much better about the orchestration when individual people play their parts from there. Especially Endwalker's expansion as compared to many of the others. They put a lot more of a rock ballad in there than they have with others. Like, I mean, oh my gosh. The expansion before this, oh my god, why am I forgetting the names of it? Shadowbreakers. Something like that. What Final Fantasy fan am I doing without being able to this is what happens when I record. I forget everything after that point. Shadowbreakers. That whole thing had more of an orchestral feel with it, with getting more and more influence. I mean, the Primals really started to form during SHB, where they actually started releasing vinyls and stuff like that, and that's when you can really hear that there was starting to become a massive shift into more rockish music. And Endwalker really does put like just the emphasis on that rock beat with beautiful orchestrations around it, just for the intense music from there. And pretty much every single section has that, and it's just nice to hear that. And so many of the callbacks to other Final Fantasies and other expansions on this are just, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. It just makes you feel heroic when they have this more uplifting music. Because even though it's a rock ballad, you still hear the intensity of it. To think all just using like the ballad of the main theme of Endwalker just helps out so much with it. Yeah. God, I would love to like actually record stuff with this. Yeah, let's just put Zodiark's theme in there. It's amazing what arpeggios can add to anything. This is so cool. Yes. Bum ba da 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 da. Do do do. The more I listen to this, the more I realize how many more vocals there were. This was one of those tracks that get me teary, just because I don't know, like the overjoyous thing and the way that I felt, just it puts me into like an emotional roller coaster from there, where I kind of had to stop and regain composure for 2 seconds. Like it's I don't know, when you have a choir like this, well, really it's just one singer who just starts out with this intense phrase, and then when you get to the resolution of it, when you have these luscious, beautiful, not only vocal chords but instrumentations replicating that to like tenfold it brings a lot of powerful emotions to those who are listening to it. And like a lot of times they play these styles of melodies when there's not only like a lot of chaos going on, but also when there's like hope. And a lot of the a lot of the themes of Endwalker were essentially about, you know, obviously saving the world. It was like the massive end of a huge story they started back with really 1.0, since that's resonating with all of that. But it's such like a good way to get the listener to kind of feel like all hope might be lost, but there's just that light, which is the warrior of light, who will push through and kind of keep going through there. It gets me emotional talking about it, just because it was such a touching story. And if you haven't experienced it, like I mean, it's free up to level 70 right now. Like do it, and you'll heal a lot more. The music's just gotten better the further on that this MMO has gone. It's been a huge part of my life. It's where I've met a lot of people. So just hearing hearing these lush chords is so beautiful. All right, I need to back up. I apologize. Yeah, it's right here, because this is where the lush chords come in. There's the optimism again. That's a clever way to use music. That's really clever. This is really a perfect example of how most music can just trigger a lot of emotion in people. It's just beautiful. Like, oh god, I'm having trouble with this whole freaking song right now, because instead of like I'm trying to obviously it's a reaction. You could hear me tearing up a little bit as we go through, but a lot of this is just to remind people of the journeys they've been through. Some of us have been playing this game for years, and like with how much more luscious and beautiful the music becomes with and it's all simple chord progression. It's all done with just the same 4 chord progression that we hear in a lot of other like typical music, but it's just the amount of chord building they do, the instrumentation used, the messages that the music goes through, what is happening on the screen. All of that is just the memories. It's enough to put any kind of music person just, you know, just lushing over it. I mean, like exactly what I'm doing right now. This is just, it's beautiful music. It is. Ugh. And you hear just the various different styles that kind of come through this, and it's beautiful. Bum 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 bum. Is this the Emerald area? This might be. I mean, this is obviously just a combination of all the themes that were done through the expansion. Ba ba da 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 ba da 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 da. Such a simple melody can bring so much intensity to emotions. It's beautiful, and I love it. Oh. I keep getting lost into it when I'm supposed to be, like, talking, but I can't help it. It's just making me smile and tear up the entire time. Oh, God. Wait a minute. Did they actually get, like... They fucking got the English voice actors for Alice and Alpha to do this, too? Holy fuck. Okay. I knew they were going to have to cover this, and this is the one that makes me lose it each time. Just from being at Ultima Thule and just hearing this theme. I'm going to lose it here, just as a heads up, because it's hard for me not to, because I was losing it while this was playing in the background the entire time. Sorry. While making that trek up to the final boss of the expansion, and it's just... I don't know, the emotions felt with seeing each of the scions just go away. Like, with the self-sacrifice. I mean, no one ever dies in these games, like, ever, besides the villains, but, like, hearing this was... if I was ever streaming this at that point, and part of me wishes I kind of was, I would not... I had to stop. I had to stop at that point, because I was just... heartbroken and like Alright, I'm just trying to get through this. This is gonna be tough for me though, but we'll see. I'll get through it. It's good. Just prep myself. Of course, the last 2 fucking minutes too. Alright, I got this. Ugh. Okay, I got it. So go to the zone to listen to this all the goddamn time. Oh, this is killing me. This is always the track that gets me every time. It is beautiful. Like, just having those lush chords, like, when you hit them and having the actual, like, voice actors, I'm sure, saying this, it's a huge part from here. And I got my emotes working finally, my god. I don't know, just that song at the end with everything. Just, it puts the whole journey onto, like, a huge perspective from there. And again, it's those chords, it's those vocals that end up doing it. Whenever you have very thick texture, which is a lot of what this last part is, when I listen to it one more time, also having the voice actors do this from the game is really cool. When you have this lush textures, where it's like 5 or 6 different like notes being sung and kind of the same progression from there, it triggers a lot of emotional response within people, which makes complete sense. It's supposed to symbolize the end of a journey, the end of a very long journey, and this game has connected a lot of people in my life, a lot of people in everybody's lives from there. So feeling the weight of the world, like all the way across from the other stars at that point, and having this blasting on the background as you're walking up that staircase, getting ready to just finish everything, it hits, and it still hits me, even though I know the whole story beats the whole story plots, and it's gonna be tough to have anything top that. I'm gonna listen to those chords one more time because it's the same progression, and that's the gist of it. A lot of music is just 4 chords, but it's how you recognize and play around and manipulate the scales of those chords that ends up portraying like beautiful music for this, which is why whenever you hear this music essentially at the end of the at the end of the universe, and it hits you. I still get hit every single time I go over and hear those vocals like hitting there. It's beautiful. It's just I had to listen to it one more time because it's such a powerful melody line. At one of these points, I gotta actually look up the full lyrics to this so I can be hurt even more emotionally. Now you see, I gotta try to do one of these when they do their next like medley. I want to be involved in this somehow. It's such strong music. I'm really excited to see how Dawn Trail's gonna top this. They're geniuses. That's all there is to it. They're just geniuses. Excuse me for getting my emotional mess as this normally happens when it comes to a lot of music, like especially with franchises that mean a ton to me. Especially with 14 meaning a ton to me. I get very emotional when I start listening to this stuff. I did not have, through both Shadowbringers and Endwalker, because I was like caught up with everything and really into like FCs and stuff like that, it just emotionally made me lose it when you hear that kind of music like push forward, and Endwalker made it worse. So I know Dawn Trail's supposed to be a little bit lighter, well, supposedly, but I'm curious what the composers are going to do to kind of push that forward. But I will be, again, streaming this live on Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, right on this channel, as I want to just go right into it. obviously play the game, but really just kind of listen to the music, because that's the first thing I do is I listen to kind of the OSTs that I'm going to be hearing for hours and hours and hours, and I'm excited to hear like the new dungeons, the new music that they do for like quest interactions, and like especially with it being as oriental as it's going to be, I'm really curious and excited to see what the team at the I can't talk, bleh, the orchestral team at 14 had up their sleeves for this one. So thank you for hearing me ramble on about Final Fantasy music for way too long, but it's what happens with this. I just enjoy listening and hearing this, and now I gotta dry my tears before I have other things to do. Again, I'm gonna be streaming this on Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and then on this channel, and then probably a ton of other times. So come and tune in if you want to hear me squee over music and well, other things at that point. If you enjoyed this content, by all means, please leave leave something else that you have really enjoyed. Do you have a favorite 14 moment? Like what drew you to this fabulous world? Was there a specific story beat? Was there certain music? Uh, was it our lovely automaton playing composer playing Lahi during one of the fan fests, and just going all ham with it? There's so many good memories of this stuff. Subscribe, comment. We are closing in at 1K, which I didn't think was possible like even a month ago. So let's keep that ball rolling. All right, friends. Until next time, I will see you later. Bye bye.